Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. We are a spiritual community that seeks to be diverse and inclusive as we inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in community. I am Reverend Stephen, minister of this congregation. We extend a special welcome to our visitors. Thank you for worshiping with us this morning. As we take our seats once again, let's take, thank you, Sonis, a moment to breathe together, to be fully present, to enter our time of community once again. And let's invite the Spirit to be present among us and to open our hearts to life and the gift of this day as we reflect on how love is the spirit of this church. Come, let us worship together.
Prepare me to be a sanctuary, kind and caring, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary. Join us, won't you? You have the words? Will you pop the words up there? You don't have the words?
Nope.
Well, okay.
Well, we can do it again.
Well, you just heard it, so you know all the words, right? Sing along if you're able. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, kind and caring, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Okay, we have a second verse now that goes, make us aware we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through. With thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary anew. And we'll do that twice. Make us aware we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through. With thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary anew. Make us aware we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through. With thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary anew.
A month from today will be 22 years since I first entered this building. It was an Easter Sunday, April 12th, and I sat back there right around where Mary Leeson is sitting, and it was in the old horsehair stuffed auditorium style seats with springs coming up, and please don't be sorry you missed them. I had not been in a church since 1985, and I honestly did not know what to expect, but I was here. I sat through the service and absorbed not only the words and the music, but the atmosphere, the energy. It was different. It felt oddly wonderful, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. And it wasn't the seats. I knew not a soul in this congregation, and being a person who is not very comfortable with meet and greet or making banal chit-chat with strangers, I snuck out as soon as the last note of music played. It was clear we were finished. I hurried out through the Founders Lounge and down the steps to the front door, still feeling a bit like I was walking in a cloud that engulfed and somehow gently and thoroughly embraced me. It seemed rather otherworldly. I got into my car. My mind and my heart were confused, and I began to cry. If you know me, then you know that's not terribly uncommon. I'm a sensitive, emotional, wear my heart out on my sleeve kind of person. I am an empath. I sat there for a while, crying, trying to make sense of my feelings, all these unusual feels. Wiped my face, breathed slowly and deeply, and had one of those aha moments. The atmosphere, the energy, the vibes, if you will, the big cloud hug. What I was experiencing with goosebumps still was love. I knew I had found my home. It was this old brick church that love built, where love lived, where I knew I could find and grow my soul. Love is the spirit of this church. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice to unite us in worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth within and among us. The chalice is also a light to guide us on our shared journey and a reminder that we are all interconnected in the great web of existence of which we are each a beloved part. As Henry lights our shared chalice, I invite those on Zoom to light your home chalice. Please join me in the words for the chalice lighting adapted from James Vila Blake. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, to help one another, and to bring about the beloved community.
I have a poem for you this morning called Under the Love Umbrella by Davina Bell. Up in the sky, among the stars, there's something you might not see. But over your head and just above, there's an umbrella of my love to show it's you I'm thinking of wherever you might be. In the deepest dark, when dogs bark or waves crash loud, is that a shark? When friends won't share and things aren't fair, there's always my love umbrella. You're feeling shy and don't know why? Forgot your hat? You want to cry? Remember, I'm standing by because of our love umbrella. When everything is strange and new on days when you need super glue, there's so much room here just for you under my love umbrella. Bad dream? Lost tooth? Smashed toy? Big worry? Your pants got ripped? You're in a hurry? It disappears in a big old flurry under my love umbrella. Whatever you fear, come close, my dear. You're tucked in safe, for always here, and I will never not be near, holding our love umbrella. I wonder about metaphors. When I first read this poem, I thought about this church. The church in my mind is this umbrella, creating a safe place from life's storms, ever growing to make room for everyone. And so it is in that vein that I read this again. Up in the sky, among the stars, there's something you might not see, but over your head and just above, there's an umbrella of our love, to let you know that it's you we are thinking of. In the deepest dark, when dogs bark or waves crash loud, is that a shark? When friends won't share and things aren't fair, there's always our love umbrella. You're feeling shy and don't know why, forgot your hat, you want to cry? Remember, we are standing by because of our love umbrella. When everything is strange and new, on days when you need super glue, there's so much room here just for you under our love umbrella. Bad dream? Lost tooth? Smashed toy? Big worry? Your pants got ripped? You're in a hurry? It disappears in a big old flurry under our love umbrella. Whatever you fear, come close, our dear. You're tucked in safe, always here. And we will never not be near, holding our love umbrella. In every weather, it's us together. Our love for you goes on forever. Be still, breathe deep, wherever you sleep. You are under our love umbrella. Up in the sky, among the stars, there's something you might not see, but over your head and just above, there's an umbrella of our love to show it's you that we are thinking of, wherever you might be. I wonder, do you feel as though you are under a love umbrella?
Let's take some silence now together to hold one another and to nurture our spirits with prayer or reflection, with gratitude or meditation, or just simply being, so that we can once again remember who we truly are, reflect on our lives, and reconnect with the holy that is the center of life itself. Let's enter some silence. I invite you to return. Part of our lives is our struggle and loss. As a community of compassion and care, we take time to share these things that have happened. We send our love and care to Trish McLaughlin as she begins her journey with Parkinson's. Randy Bish asks that we hold up his wife, Heidi, who is trying to overcome some kind of virus. We send healing wishes. Diane Kloss asks us to hold her sister's family in our thoughts and prayers as they struggle with a medical concern. Elaine says that her niece Ashley is in treatment for a lapse in sobriety. We offer thoughts of peace, comfort. Raven Luna Black Raven shares with us that She's been in pain for a bit over a week, asking for prayers for her and for her daughter, who is still recovering and in a great deal of pain. We're holding both of you in our hearts and sending wishes for healing and comfort. If you join me now in the spirit of prayer with these words of the Reverend Angela Herrera. Beneath the hustle and bustle, beneath the stream of thoughts that clambers and clutters over the landscape of our interior world, beneath our habits of momentum and stirring, there is stillness, deep and peaceful. It's that place where creation begins. Who lives there? We know her by many names: truth, love, God, wisdom. We turn our hearts toward her face, toward a mystery, and bring our prayers of awe, of longing, of hope, of exhaustion. The Holy holds us in our grief and our anger, in our disappointment, our loneliness, and in our rebirth. From her viewpoint, she sees us as children in the stillness, children of love. She sees our place in the order of things, joined together in a larger story. And she invites us again and again into living, invites us into loving, invites us into being loved. May we be blessed to wholeness and blessed with peace. May all those whom we encounter receive this blessing through our being in the world. May it be so. We take time to rejoice with the moments of wonder, awe, joy that have lifted our spirits this week. Sana Parsons shares with us that she got to visit her mother for the first time in 6 years last week. Yay. And we have a birthday this morning. Marion? Yeah. Yay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marion. Happy birthday to you. And we send our congratulations and wishes for continued happiness to Kate and Rochelle Garner. They were married in this church 5 years ago this week. So, congrats. And now, with gratitude for these and every blessing we receive in life, for the gift of life itself, and it is a gift, for the companionship of each other on our journey, for the beauty of our world, and for all the possibilities today brings, let us raise our hearts in gladness and together say, Amen.
Our first reading is an excerpt from A Home for Your Soul by Reverend Victoria Safford, one of my favorite UU writers. What we're trying to do here, we're trying to touch what matters so that we may be reborn once a week, renewed, restored, replenished, reminded of who we are and who we are meant to be. Around here, people ask sometimes, well, what matters most right now in our time? Environmental justice, climate change, the war on science, or racial justice, the devastations of white supremacy? And we say, yes. Or someone asks, what is this church about? Is it justice in the wider world or community right here? The web of relationships that holds us all together? The celebrations of new life and marriages and mourning our beloved dead? Which one matters more, justice or community? And we say, yes, that's right. People ask, isn't it about the life of spirit, soul work, what we mean when we say God? Isn't it about the ways that music here and art call us to devotion? Or is it more about relationship and how we're governed here? How we keep our covenants by keeping order through wise administration, effective and efficient planning, strong committees, and good, solid stewardship. Is all this church work tangible or intangible? And we say, yeah, exactly. An excerpt from 1 Corinthians 13 by St. Paul the Apostle. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all that I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. So now, faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love.
My church is built of neither brick nor stone, for it's love that's the spirit of this church. It's a shelter fashioned from our hearts alone. Yes, it's love that's the spirit of this church. Oh, it's love. Yes, it's love. Yes, it's love that's the spirit of this church. Oh, yes, not the walls or steeple, but a gathered people is what makes up the spirit of this church. It is not stained glass that makes these windows bright, for it's love that's the spirit of this church. They're illuminated by compassion's light. Yes, it's love that's the spirit of this church. Amen. For it's love. It's love. Yes, it's love. It's love. For it's love that's the spirit of this church. Not the walls or steeple, but a gathered people is what makes up the spirit of this church. Our sacred altar is not carved of wood, for it's love that's the spirit of this church of mine. It is consecrated by the greater good. Yes, it's love that's the spirit of this church. For it's love. Yes, it's love. For it's love that's the spirit of this church. This church, not the walls or steeple, but a gathered people
choir. I was on a flight one time that was really rough. It was storming and we were bouncing around all over the place. You could tell everyone on the plane was nervous. Even the flight attendants looked uncomfortable. Well, evidently the travel agent who had made my reservations had used my title, because at one point a flight attendant came over to me and said, "Reverend Protzman, we understand you're a pastor. People are very uncomfortable. Would you be willing to do something religious?" And I said, "Why, of course." And I promptly proceeded to take up a collection. For those of you who are new or newer to this congregation, along with the opportunity to be generous each week and support the monthly agency or organization designated for the special collection, each year we have a pledge campaign. This church is supported primarily through your promise of a financial gift, a pledge for the operating budget. This is the money that pays for our staff, our many programs and ministries, and the expenses of our campus and its 3 buildings. Today we are completing our once a year ask and celebrating all the gifts we give and receive. We're also taking this opportunity to think about who we are as a church. As the choir just sang, and when we lit the chalice this morning, we said, love is the spirit of this church. Let's stop and think about what that means. It means that one of our deepest values, a core part of our identity, is love. This congregation began in the spirit of love as 19 men and women, many of them members of the families who founded Kent, came together in 1866, recognizing the need to bring the universalist message of love and healing to a city and a nation that had just been torn apart by the Civil War. Sally Burnell, one of our congregation's historians, wrote, "These gentle optimists, as they like to view themselves, believed in the universalist idea that God is love and that all are worthy to be saved." 157 years later, love is still at the heart of this congregation. What is this love? Of all the definitions and ideas about love I've seen, the one written by St. Paul captures it best for me. Love is patient and kind. It does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Many of us have heard these words at weddings, but Paul was not instructing a couple about marriage. He was writing to the Christian community he founded in Corinth, which was in the midst of conflict and turmoil, to teach them how to be a spiritual community, how to love one another, be compassionate, care for those who are in need, understand which behaviors are constructive and which are not, honor the divine in every person. Paul's wisdom about love is timeless and instructive for us as a spiritual community. So how are we doing? Is love truly the spirit of this church? I asked some people who are new or newer to this congregation, how are you seeing or experiencing love as the spirit of this church? And here are some responses. Brooks said, "I am inspired at every service, as well as at every meeting I have with church groups, with the love and acceptance shown by each and every person I come in contact with. I initially joined for a sense of community as well as a yearning for a spiritual guide that resonated with me. I am so grateful to say I have found that and more in this special community, and I'm excited to continue on my journey within this congregation." Rochelle and Kate said, "Our family has been dipping its toes into the Kent UU family off and on for the past 6 years, since Rochelle and I had our 4th date at a Sunday service." Going to church for a date. "We were married in this church by Lori Merkin McGee 5 years ago this week. It is amazing to feel the love from people we have met over the years, ready to welcome us back as if we hadn't skipped a beat. Some people and organizations accept us despite being a same-sex couple, and probably feel very progressive and enlightened for doing so. Here at the Kent UU, we are of course noticed for who we are, and then we just blend in as quirky, kind people like the rest of you. And Mike and Diane, from our first visit to the church, we have felt welcomed. Not just the hi, how are you, that we all say as a courtesy, but with a genuine warmth and interest in us as individuals. Not only did several members address us by name after we attended only 1 or 2 services, they also remembered personal details about us that we had shared with them previously. From those first few visits to the church, we have felt a strong sense of belonging. Acceptance, kindness, belonging, welcome, and inclusion. We're getting it right, folks. And as a bonus, we're quirky, which makes us fun and cool to be around, right? There's a lot more. There is the invitation to attend, as Reverend Victoria Safford said in the first reading, to what matters. It matters that we come together seeking to be touched, transformed, renewed by an encounter with the sacred, reminding us of who we truly are, all children of God, each of us with a spark of the divine inside. It matters that love calls us to create justice in the wider world. Our welcoming congregation team works to make sure that LGBTQIA+ people can find here a truly welcoming and inclusive place where you are safe, you are loved, and affirmed for who you are, as you are. Our Race for Justice team continues to help us learn what it means to be anti-racist and inspires us to continue the struggle to dismantle white supremacy in our culture. It matters that our religious education program provides space for our children to learn our UU values, to work on issues that matter to them, and to give them a voice in our church and our world. Our youth have a place where they can welcome and minister to people who come to our church once each month for a shared meal and to get basic supplies like soap and shampoo. It matters that our church is a workshop of the heart and spirit where we can learn to be authentic, be our authentic selves, and teach each other, where we have a covenant to guide and shape our relationships, where we can share our triumphs and struggles with each other, where we keep discovering what it means to live fully and to share the unique gifts we each have. These are only a few of the activities and ministries happening because you hear love's call to be generous with your money, your gifts, your passion for justice and peace and beloved community, all things that make this church thrive. Thank you. Love is the spirit of this church. That's the good news that we have to share about this community as we seek to expand our circle of love and make room and inclusion for those who have yet to find us. There is also a challenge. Like the vast aquifer of life-giving water beneath our feet right here in Kent, there is a vast reservoir of life-giving love here, but we've only begun to tap it. Most of that love is still only potential. But imagine, just imagine, what we could do together and the ways we can transform ourselves, our church, and our world if we were able to fully harness the power of our love and unleash it. So I ask you, will we hold this as a vision to guide us and find out in the years to come just what we can do together? Yes. Thank you. May it be so, and guided by the love that is the spirit of this church, together we will make it so. Amen. My colleague, Brandick Lovely, once wrote, "Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. Thank you for the generous gifts of money, time, skills, and care for each other that sustains and strengthens this place. To help others in our community thrive, we also give to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond that serve those in need. Our special offering for March is for the socially responsible sweatshop of Kent. It repurposes textiles to make useful items that are sold to provide funds for food-insecure community members and other social justice projects. In the spirit of gratitude for this community and one another and the abundance that makes generosity possible, we now give and receive the offering as a sign of our shared commitment to the life and work of this church and beyond. Will the ushers please receive the offering? Now I'd like to invite our generosity team to present our pledges.
Wow, 157 years of love. That's a grand tradition. Love truly is the spirit of this church. And on behalf of Claudia and Marion and myself, we really want to thank you for your pledges. Your pledge, especially this year, just means so much to the work of this church. We do want to remind you that if you've forgotten your pledge card, we do have extras over at Hobbs Hall. And we invite you for cake after service to help celebrate the love that's shown in this church and in celebration of our financial support. So thank you.
Thank you. Our generosity team has worked hard as they do each year. Could we take a moment to thank them and to celebrate our shared generosity? And now, with grateful hearts for all that is and with hope for what might yet be, we give and receive these pledges, which symbolize the pledge of our hearts, minds, and hands to continue to make this a spiritual home where together we find inspiration and strength. We create beloved community, we do the work of social justice, we care for our fragile earth, we celebrate the pleasures and challenges of living, we grow in mind and spirit, and we become transformed by love, which is truly the spirit of this church. May it be so, and it is together through the spirit of love that we continue to make it so. Now I invite Elaine to lead us in the responsive reading, The Home That Love Made by Reverend Amanda Popeye. And if you would respond with the words in italics, It's in your order of service and on the screen.
This is the home that love made. It is full of the love that the founders felt
when they planned out these walls and raised these beams above us.
This is the home that love made.
It is full of the love of all who have worshiped here, those who have celebrated and grieved here, the babies dedicated, couples married, and family members mourned here.
This is the home that love made.
It is full of the love of our children as they learn and laugh together, and our youth as they grow into their own sense of purpose and meaning.
This is the home that love made.
It is full of the love of the staff who have served it, full of their hopes for this congregation, their hard work, and their acts of dedication.
This is the home that love made.
It is full of the love of the choir,
The love
made so clear in the voices lifted here on Sunday morning.
This is the home that love made.
It is full of our love, the love of this community, despite our differences and our disagreements, the love that holds us together as a people.
This is the home that love made.
Can you feel it? May the love be with us always. Now it's time to take that love out into the world and share it. Let's bring our service to its close by extinguishing the chalice. Would you join me in the words? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds until we are together again. These are the words of J.E. Abernathy, Jr. We affirm that love is our greatest purpose. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to find hope in times of fear, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as a beloved community. And now, trusting in the love that is the spirit of this church, and renewed in our commitment to share this love with one another in the world, let us go forth in joy and in hope as we continue to inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And I see love's light in you.